I just rewatched Z Nation Season 2, Episode 8, The Collector. Um, like all the episodes, I really like this. There are a couple of sidelines I want to bring up. So they're funny that Doc says sidelines. Sometimes they're not one-liners. Sometimes they're more than one line that actually just leads to kind of a funny conversation. But his sidelines, they're just like, because he's not just like added for the comedy. I mean, because he's an important character. But Doc says a lot of funny things, like the edible tree bark. He says in this one. It could just be one thing he says and it just goes on, but it kind of goes, that one liner, that sideline continues a few times whenever, like, when they're walking through the woods and he goes, oh yeah, I don't drink those skinny trees. It's just like, it's funny stuff. It's funny stuff. And then towards the end of this episode, he says, Zombie Fun Pack, collect all 10. It's like, what? Zombie Fun Pack. If it wasn't trademarked, he probably would have called him a Happy Meal. But that's trademarked by McDonald's. But they are a Happy Meal because they eat meat. They're into meat. About this episode, a couple things about this episode that I really didn't understand. I didn't understand, like, the indivisible force field wall things that were keeping back the 3 zombies he had. How they just went away. Maybe I missed that part, but those electric force fields went down, and the zombies got out. Which I doesn't really matter, I guess. How it happened, and they got out, and they feast on the collector, which is really kind of cool. I thought it was neat having J.R. Martin on there. I'm not a fan of Game of Thrones. I've only seen the first. Well, I think I've seen the first 2 episodes. I think I would, watch the second one, but I didn't really get into it, which is kind of a surprise because I've seen some of the commercials and stuff. And I'm like, this looks really cool, but so I'm not really into that. But I think it was fun having him as a guest, special guest star. No, he didn't star, but that scene where it had him and Muscle Memory, he wasn't really signing books, but he was scribbling on the collector. I thought that was cool. I thought, this is weird that he's having him scribbling books, but I thought it was kind of neat having him as a special guest. Speaking of special guests, who I've been thinking recently about who they should have, because I think they should have, like, celebrities as themselves on there. I think that would be cool. And I think, I was trying to come up with who would be really, really funny, really, really cool. I came up with Woody Harrelson. And he would be wearing a cowboy hat, and somebody, probably Doc, would call him Tallahassee, and he goes, I hate that name. He was like, I learned a lot of cool stuff from that movie, and then he just, like, whacks some Z. No. He learned a lot of cool stuff from that movie. I think it would be funny if he showed up, like, driving a black Escalade or something with a 3 on the side. Because I don't know why he had a 3 in Zombieland, but I think it would be as himself. I think that would it would be funny to have him guest star. I mean, because he gets a star, but guest as himself. I think that would be really on point, like that. I mean, the collector. It was a fun episode. That line, he says something about, imagine the world's biggest Comic-Con did it with the Smithsonian. I was like, gosh, really? And then he said cosplay. There's no costume play. They have, he's talking about real weapons. And I'm like, oh my goodness. What if somebody really showed up, which I'm sure they have, with, like, a Klingon bat'leth, at a Comic-Con? I'm sure they have. Or is that Klingons? Maybe they're not Comic Con as much, just Star Trek conventions. I don't know. I've never dressed up and gone to a convention. I've wanted to, because I think it would be cool. It'd be fun, you know. And I like looking at pictures of people who dress up now. When I was younger, I didn't, but because I thought that was too weird. But I'm thinking now, I am one of those weird guys who would do that. I've never, but I would do that. One of those weird guys. And learn Klingon, that's weird. But I still probably would never do that. But it's not as strange and out there as some things, I guess. I keep going away from zombie apocalypse stuff, from Z Nation stuff, but I think it's cool. I think I like Z Nation. I'm about to rewatch Zombie Road. I rewatched it last week. I'm gonna watch it again today. It'd be like the third or fourth time I've watched it. It's a good episode. Yeah, and that's all I have to say about it for now. If any of y'all have theories about how that electric fence went away and how the zombies got out, yeah, post in the comments, because I'm curious. I'm curious how it happened.